we're gonna now pack our UVs, so let's select a hammer, put an unwrap modifier onto it, click open UVs. All of our UVs are spread out around from where we were collapsing the layers from the arm. So what we essentially want to do is we want to get our important parts being the biggest spaces in our UV space. So that will be the base of the hammer is definitely going to be the biggest. So what I like to work like, so I'm going to select all these metal parts that we laid out nice and tidy last time. I'm going to drag these out of the way. So now all we've got left here is the wood and the grit parts. Let's pull these in together. I've seemed to accidentally select the metal part up the top here, so no worries, we'll just move this over to here with the other part. We're going to move the handle down here into the UV space. Select freeform mode. Holding control and just grabbing a corner, it keeps it in constrained proportions, so it keeps it all the same proportion so that it won't get distorted. And now let's move these metal parts, similar to what we did with the handle, somewhat close to one another. This is not made in stone, you don't have to do this. This is just how I like to work. This is just my method, and I'm going to quickly try to pack these UVs for the purpose of this tutorial. I recommend taking your time so that you can get the best out of your texture map and get the best out of your space, as your UVs are one of the most important parts of your model. Not to worry, if something messes up as well like it just did then, you can control Z it. So let's just pull this around. Bounded box around here, this is our space, this is what will be rendered out with our wires. The goal is to get everything into here. Select this face, this is another important part because it's going to have the sigil of the wolf from Thrall's hammer. So this is going to have some nice artwork on this, and it's a very iconic piece to the hammer. So the same with the top. Essentially, the little things that are not that important on this hammer will be the bolts. The rest of it is needs quite detail put into it when it comes to the texturing phase. Let's play around and just basically try to get these all matching inside the box. As you have different tools in the UV panel, you have flip and everything, so don't be scared to flip things. What I'm doing here is I'm going to overlay these and click the mirror tool for horizontal. The reason I'm overlaying them is because I'll just have them mirrored on either side, so when I texture it, it's just going to mirror it onto the other side and produce the same texture. Some game engines won't support this, but some do, and it's not recommended to mirror everything on your model because you're going to want some diversity and you're going to want to make it look convincing as possible. Having things all mirrored and symmetrical and perfect breaks that illusion. So I'm just doing this because at this time it's the logical thing to do and it makes sense. So don't be afraid to use it, but don't overuse it. And we're going to do the same with the bottom half of the hammer as well. Okay, let's pull this down. I'm going to speed up the video because this is a very boring procedure to watch, and I will stop it if anything I feel benefit you watching this that you could maybe base off. Okay, we're just placing the last parts of our UV map, moving these around, just getting them up. Make sure you space out your UVs from one another because of texture bleeding. Okay, what we want to do is render these out, so we're going to click Tools, Render UV Template, and we're going to set this to, we're going to have 512 by 512. And then we're going to click render UV template. There's our UVs. Click the little save disk at the top. And now we're going to save this on our desktop again. PGA. Okay, let's call it Warriors. Save. And then set this to 24-bit. Keep them set the same. Click OK. Close it. And there you have it. You have your UV saved onto your desktop. What we will move on to next is how to bake your Lightmap out.